Hello Libra, thank you very much for tuning into your general read. For the main read, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot, if you can see it. There we go. By Paul Foster Case and Arthur Edward Waite. Hopefully you can read that. For the supportive cards, the Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. As usual, I've already shuffled. Well, let's put these down. Okay, so looking at your reading right off here, I gotta say, I'm not seeing an overall energy. I see kind of a progression going on here, so that's how I'm gonna handle it, and we'll get the information to you best I can. Because I feel like when you're going into this, there's negotiations going right into it. I don't think that's a problem, especially for what I know of Libra. Libra, they love to communicate, they love to work things out, they want things to work out fairly. They're willing to do what they need to do to make that happen. They're negotiators. That's usually a natural thing for Libra. They like things to work out fairly, the way they see fair, and they're very good at talking things out, smoothing things over, keeping information back that needs to be kept back so it doesn't make people upset. I don't feel like there's so much about confrontation as cooperative effort. So in going into this, you're feeling like, you know what, the other side's ready to talk. It doesn't seem like you're not worried about it. You're thinking it's going to be a good talk. We're going to work some things out. Let's do that. Now, your mindset going into this is working things out. You're ready for it. You're up for the challenge. Now, I did say in the beginning here I didn't think there was an overall energy, but I am noticing in the beginning part it's about the negotiations and working it out and putting in that effort. You have your mindset to put in the work to get it done, to talk it out, and you're looking to do that. You're all on board, all in for it. Now, the other side, they have big ideas about what they want to do. They got the Ace of Pentacles. The thing to know about the Ace of Pentacles, earth energy, very stable, very grounded. It's like a boulder sitting at the top of a mountain. It moves when it wants to move. And it knows what way it's going to go down the hill, and it's just basically when it's going to go down the hill, it's going to go the way it wants to go. I feel like this is the energy you're going into. I think I'm just trying to make the point here that I don't feel it's as much of a negotiation as you might think it is going in. Because the Wheel of Fortune comes in here between you and the Ace of Pentacles. And I feel like things seem to be going well. The Ace of Pentacles is a start. So things are starting to go forward. The Eight of Pentacles on your side is continued effort, continued negotiations in this situation. But with the Pentacles, it's again on your side, that's continuing of something that's been going, that's furthering work, that's furthering something that has a base to it, continuing on. The Wheel of Fortune between the two of you, I feel like one of you is going to fall off the wheel, quite frankly. And I'm thinking it might be you, especially what I'm seeing going forward here, especially with the Ace of Pentacles being so dominant. I feel like the wheel is signifying that like one of you is going forward and one of you is being pushed off track. Ace of Pentacles seems to have the upper hand starting off here. But let's go a little farther just to find out. Because I feel what goes on here, the Ace of Pentacles is pushing forward. I feel like they're literally pushing forward and going down the hill the way they want to. This is the other side. They're going ahead, even though they're supposed to be negotiating, they're doing what they want, And it's not so much of a negotiation as it might have seemed before. It might have seemed like it was going to be. And I feel like you're trying to get along with this and you're trying to weather the storm, and it's becoming extremely stressful for you, but you're trying to keep the negotiations going, but you're starting to realize it's not really as much of a negotiation as it should be. The other side is continuing on. They're realizing they're getting the resistance from you, but they are pushing forward. So even though you're pushing back to them, they're still pushing forward and still going. So, for whatever reason, the Ace of Rods pops up on your side. The Strength card pops up on the other side. I don't feel like the other side really bends, but I feel like you stop the presses type thing. You stop everything right where it is. And that can happen a few different ways, but literally, I feel like the situation, when this Ace of Rods is fire. It's a start. But I feel like it's more of a start of the end. Because the other side isn't listening and they're just going forward and doing what they want. This Ace of Rods is you standing up and saying, no, no more. We're done. Like you're shutting it down. Like no more. You're finished. I feel like it took a lot to get you there. But you did. I don't even think you would believe this was coming until actually it happens. Because it's just the right moment hits. You've had enough. Bam. This card is not usually an ending. I just want to be clear about that. But the Ace of Rods, when things aren't going your way and it's not fair, I'm really feeling the Ace of Rods is saying you're standing up for yourself. You have that rod in your hand. You're just like, you're standing strong. You're like, no, we're done. Enough. I find it very interesting that card's coming through that way because I would not usually think of that as ending. But you're putting it, that's your strength. That's your strength. You're holding it there. You're like, no, no. Now, when this happens, we got this going over here. I feel like it's literally a stalemate. Literally. Like nobody's doing anything. You got the Nine of Swords on your side. You have the Six of Cups on the other side. And below them, you have the Health card. I feel like they realized that wasn't right. I feel like they can't even rebuke. Like, the way they were just pacifying and still going along with this, what they thought was right, wasn't right, and they know it. And they have to kind of like divvy up for it. Nine of Swords on your side, you're not budging. You got that Ace of Rods in hand, you're like, I said it's done, and I'm not budging. No more. The Six of Cups on their side, I feel like they're looking back and they're just like, you know what? I had every opportunity to do this differently. This didn't have to come to this. I feel like it's more like they're trying to negotiate when it's too late. I feel like it's too late. Because the ultimate outcome of this is between the two of you, you and this other side, the Ten of Swords. I feel like it's complete breakdown. Done. I feel like it's complete breakdown between you and this other party. But there's the Peace card on your side. I feel like however you can, whatever way that might take, if I can get this in the shot, I kind of feel like you're moving on. You're done. I feel like the point that this came to, where you were trying to negotiate this out, you were working with it, you saw them going forward and not listening, and you were trying to weather it out, giving them a moment, and they just weren't. When you finally had to put your foot down, you were so angry that I feel like you literally stopped the presses. And that's how the Ace of Swords is working for you. It's the start of you just standing up and saying no. It's the start of you just standing strong and not budging. But literally, I got the Ace of Rods coming in with the Nine of Swords, which means you're tying the whole situation up, you're done. And then I feel like you're out. You ended the situation. Like, you're so fed up with it. You're not seeing a point in negotiations any farther because the other side doesn't negotiate. They just do what they want. So you're just like, we're done? No, we're literally done, and I'm out. And that's it. You shut down the presses and you lock the building and you leave. That type of feeling. Because the peace card comes here at the end for you because there's nothing more to deal with. The situation has been ended, you are finished, and you are leaving. You're not going to be involved anymore, and you've decided that. The health card on the other side, though, that makes me wonder, because I feel like there's some tough lessons on the other side, like some missteps. This might be a self-audit on their side more often. They have to like realize like they brought it on themselves is kind of what I feel like. Like they're gonna have to, if they don't want this to happen to them again, they're gonna have to really think about what they did and why this became what it did. As far as you're concerned with this situation though, 10 of Swords, you're done. You're disgusted with how it turned out. You're not happy with that at all. But you're at peace because you moved on from it. Neither side is happy with the end result. But you moved on, you have peace from this, you don't have to deal with it anymore. The other side really has to think about why it ended up the way it did. I feel like the relentless attitude, the uncompromising, unforgiving method that they used, they have to look at that a little closer. Like the way this ended, this actually works out good for them because it forces them to really think about why it ended the way it did. Like what part did they play in it? Like they really have to realize you came forward to the table. Well, I feel like they came forward to the table posing that they were willing to negotiate. You felt like things were going well. You thought this was good. The Wheel of Fortune makes me feel like you thought this was a great start to things going better than they had. You were very passionate about this, ready to get in there and continue efforts to work this out. But they had ulterior motives. They knew what they were going to do. They weren't even considering negotiating. They thought they were just going to bully through. And by the time they got going at full speed, there was nothing you could do to stop them, and they were wrong. Because you stopped the situation, and you, like, again, stopped the presses, locked up the building, and left. Done. Done. And now they have to look back on it and feel like, you know, like this is like a hard lesson. This is like tough love on their side. That's what I'm feeling. Like they had this coming. You're not happy about the ending. They're not happy about the ending. You're freed from it, though, so it's like a breath of fresh air. Even though you're not happy with how this ended, you're still going to feel better in the long run because it's less stress. Still not happy with how it ended because of, you feel, I mean, you're basically lied to is kind of what I'm seeing in the beginning here. And the other side isn't happy with how it ended either, but they have to like own their part and realize, you know what, that was a big misstep. I never should have done that. All right. Well, I hope this hits you at a time where this is comforting at least. Or if you're in the beginning of this and you see this coming, maybe you have a way to negotiate this or maybe to keep an eye on things or keep things more under control to maybe create a better solution or a better way to get this out. Because when this Ace of Rods hits, that's basically you getting ticked off and standing your ground. That's the beginning, the start of you just digging in your feet and like, we're done. And this is you standing up for yourself. That's what the Ace of Rods is working for you. So hopefully there's something about this that can make your life a little easier based on what I've said here. Who knows? This might come to the person on the other side. Maybe they're going to see this coming and they might realize if they're dealing with a Libra that if they go in with false pretenses, it's going to backfire and it's going to be a complete end of the situation. So you might want to think it over. All right. I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.